In today's video, we're going to be doing part 1 of our hand-eye coordination skills videos. Through this video, we're going to be going through 5 different drills, focusing on a different hand-eye coordination aspect every single time. Looking into our first drill, we're going to do some peripheral vision training, where the coach can start with a ball in each hand and then drop one of the balls. The players can be looking at their chest in a nice low action position, and they're going to try and react and catch a ball with 2 hands that the thrower has dropped. Alternate, mix it up, make sure the player does know which hand the ball is going to be dropped from. To make this a little bit more challenging, the coach is going to hold a different ball in each hand. As they drop both balls, they're going to say a color. The players then going to have to react and catch the color that the coach has set. This also helps with a bit of reaction, but it's trying to watch out of both sides of your eyes to see where the ball's coming from. As a cricketer, while we're batting, we need to see everything around us. Same thing with the bowler, because those little visionary points can really help us get to where we need to go. Next up, we're going to do some reaction movements from a ball bouncing off of the ground. To start off, we used a reactionary ball. I'm going to stand behind the player. I'm going to throw underarm over the player and let the ball try and react off of the surface. The player's going to try and get the ball after one bounce, trying to get it to go different areas and move well to the ball, trying to keep the eyes on the ball for as long as possible. To upskill this a bit, we're now going to go with some overarm throws towards the player, trying to get it to move quite a bit. So you have to react quickly as it's coming off of the ground, but also hoping that it does deviate a little bit to the sides, making sure that your hands are moving well and your head and hands are moving together. Now, we do understand that not everyone has a reaction ball at their disposal or in their cricket toolkit. What you can do to sort of short way around this is you put some cones on the ground and you can use a tennis ball or a cricket ball. Tennis ball just bounces a bit more, so that's a bit better. And you can do exactly the same things, trying to get the tennis ball to react off of the cones or not off of the cones, making sure that the player's watching the ball all the way into their hands and still moving really well. Next up, we're going to be looking at a depth perception drill. This is where the player is going to cover up one eye and they're going to try and catch the ball with one hand on the side of the open eye, trying to track it all the way into the hand. What's important here is we still need to do the basics of catching well and trying to get used to watching that ball with a slightly impaired depth perception. Very difficult to say apparently. To upskill this, what you're now going to do is you're going to cover the eye that you're trying to catch on and then catch with the opposite hand. This is going to make it a little bit more difficult because you have to track the ball that much better. Both of these drills are just there to make sure that you're tracking the ball really well with both eyes and at the same time training the strength of our eyes. For the next drill, we're now going to combine reaction time and peripheral vision. Important for the player is to get into a nice action position in front of cones or post-it notes or anything that you can put in different areas along the surface in front of you. From here, the coach or the other person is going to say a color or a number or whatever it may be, and the person has to react and touch the cone or whatever it is as your visual aid to get there. Mix it up as much as possible. Try and go for 30 seconds and see how quickly you can get and try and count how many you can do in that time. It's important to note that the player needs to keep looking forward to try and keep track of where everything is and making sure that the player actually touches the surface which they're trying to get to. Because it doesn't help that you just miss the surface, because that's not going to train our peripheral vision. Keep working hard at this, because the quicker you can do this, the quicker you're going to be in a game. Next up, we are going to do another reactionary drill. We're going to have a flat surface in front of us and a person with tennis balls behind the player that is actually doing the drill. You're going to be about 2 to 3 meters away from the wall. The closer you are, the more challenging it is going to be. To start off, the player behind is going to throw and bounce the ball in front of the surface, and then the player is going to try and catch the ball wherever it's going, making sure that the movements are good and trying to get their hands into the line of the ball as quickly as possible. This is obviously the easiest part of this. Next up, what you're going to do is you're going to go behind the player and you're going to throw it directly into the wall surface, and then the player's got to react for that, moving well, trying to catch as many as possible. Finally, we're going to throw and try and bounce it off of the ground. This is to make it more challenging by having the ball change lines off of the surface and not in a straight line, making sure that you're good from a low action position and being able to move to the sides. It is easier to move up in a movement than it is to move down, so stay low as long as possible so that you can get there. This drill is specifically good for keepers to make sure that the hands move nice and quickly and that you're in a strong position from which to move at any given time to make that crucial catch that could win your team the game. Thank you very much for watching. We hope that you did enjoy. A massive shout out to all our members who help make these videos possible. And if you want to see how to train at home, check this video out over here.